This is the light we have. Okay. Om Vishvam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyan Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivodbhutan Yatha Nidraya Yasakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanameva Dvayam Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namahidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Bijasyantarivangkuro Jagadidam Prangnirvikalpam Punaha Maya Kalpita Deshakal Kalana Vaichitra Chitri Krutam Maya Viva Vijrumbhayatya Vimaha Yogi Vayasvechaya Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namahidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namahidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Bande Guru Paramparam Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Krathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandathami Bhagavat Gite Bhavadveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavasthitatangatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidussura suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai. So this is a 9th chapter. We are right now studying the 9th chapter. It is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. Rajavidya Rajaguhya. Rajavidya, secret of all knowledge. King of all knowledge. Rajaguhyam, secret of. King of all secrets. And in this, we are in middle, but the first few verses I will just again give a little gist of that. So first 3 verses gives the introduction. Bhagavan gives the introduction. So Bhagavan says, Idantu te guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase ashubhat. Well, because in the 8th chapter, the thing has emerged that by taking the name of Lord throughout the life, person becomes free ultimately after the death of the body. Going to Brahmaloka, etc., and then gaining knowledge, one becomes free. Means there is no chance of gaining freedom, mukti here, looks like. So therefore, Bhagavan wants to clarify it is not so. Yajñatva mokshese ashubhat. Yajñatva, knowing which. But what knowing which? Guhyatamam jnanam vijnana sahitam. Jnatva. So, guhyatamam jnanam, which is the knowledge which is most secret, guhyatamam, superlative. So, most secret knowledge, and vijnana sahitam, which is with the immediate knowledge. What is that immediate knowledge? Immediate knowledge means knowledge of something which is immediate. There is only one thing which is immediate, and that is oneself. I is the immediate thing. There is nothing else. Everything is away from that, right? What is objectified is away from you. Even your thought, your memory, your emotion, your perception, that you objectify. Therefore, it is away from you. What is immediate is the self. Therefore, Vijnana Sahitam, Bhagavan wants to say that I am giving you the knowledge, secret of all knowledge, along with the knowledge of Vastu, knowledge of the Atma, knowing which, moksha se, you become free. From what? Ashubhat, something which is inauspicious. You will be released from all that is inauspicious. So that is how Bhagavan introduced the subject. And next verse, of course, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram. This is the knowledge which purifies, which most purifying knowledge. All impurities, whether it is in the mind or anywhere else, or even in the Karana Sharira, all our Punya Papa and all several janmas we have done, what not, all things. In a stroke, everything goes away. Anyway, so this is introduction in first 3 verses. Then the 4th to 10 is the Bhagavan wants to talk about the nature of Atma, nature of Brahman, nature of Ishvara, nature of himself. And then 11th verse, Bhagavan says, what is the cause of the bondage? Samsara Karana. Cause of the bondage is what? Because you want freedom. Means you say you are bound. What is the cause of that? Etc. Ajnanam, etc. And then from 12th to 19th verses, basically are, Bhagavan says one gains this knowledge, one gains Ishvara, in the atmosphere of bhakti. Bhakti is a sadhana. So, bhakti means not just here, of course, a devotion, etc., but it is a series of sadhana by which one gains the knowledge of Ishvara, etc. So, here, out of 4 types of bhaktas, a particular type of bhakta has been talked about here, and that is jignasu. One who wants to know, wants to gain self-knowledge. They recognize Atma as something which is existent and have discerned the fundamental problem that, what one wants in life is ultimately moksha, freedom, nothing else. No one wants anything else. One wants only freedom. So the whole pursuit is for the freedom, for such bhaktas, jignasus. And of course it is said here bhakti because it is a pursuit characterized by a committed devotion to the Lord, and which they are seeking to know. And definitely whose grace they are seeking. So seeking grace is the initial step. And that goes further when you seek to know Him also. So that's how word bhakti has been used here. Seeking grace of Ishvara. Anyway, and who are those bhaktas? The lakshana of those bhaktas have been narrated, I told you. 13, 14, 15, 6, etc. What is said in 13th verse? Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashitaha bhajanti nanya manasaha gnatva bhutadim avyayam. They are Mahatmas. These jignasu bhaktas are Mahatmas. Mahatmas means what? Whose mind is very big. Those who have a love and compassion for others. They are called Mahatmas. And what type of a prakriti, what type of a disposition they have? Daivim prakritim ashitaha. They have a godly disposition. What is godly disposition? Because, they have a certain self-control and they have other qualifications, Shraddha, etc. in Shastra, Shraddha in Ishvara, etc. So, Daivim Prakritim Ashitaha and Bhajanti, they seek me. What kind of a me? Bhutadim Mam. They seek me, Mam. They seek me, which is Bhutadim, which is basically which is the cause, Adi, which is the cause for Bhutas, cause for the entire creation. And Namaste. And then Ananya Manasaha, these people whose minds are not distracted. Ananya Manasaha, those minds are not distracted by anything else. Through Viveka, definitely they have They have understood the Purushartha. Then in 14th verse also a Lakshana of a Bhakta, this Jignasu Bhakta have been narrated. Well, it says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dridhavrataha namasyantasya mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Satatam kirtayantaha mam. They always do kirtanam. They always appreciate, well, my glories. Not ordinary glory. Ishvara's glories cannot be ordinary. Our glories are very ordinary glories. Ishvara's glories are really extraordinary. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina. Well, I pervade by my form, which is basically free from which you cannot objectify. I am pervading entire creation with this. Masthani sarva bhutani. In this chapter itself, this is a glory. Masthani sarva bhutani. Nachaham teshu vasthitah, nachamasthani bhutani, etc. So all beings, things have their being actually in me. I am free from all of them. Actually, they are also not in me. What is there is just me. It's all glory. And he also said, well, that he doesn't undergo any change, not even iota. Yet he appears as this changing creation, constantly changing creation. He alone appears in this form. That's a glory. He doesn't do anything, yet he is creator. He doesn't do anything, yet he sustains everything. He doesn't do anything, he resolves. Every moment, things are getting resolved. And every moment, new things are born. As I am speaking now, many children have been born, babies have been born in hospitals, constantly going on. Yet he doesn't do anything. It's a glory of Ishvara. And these Jignasu Bhaktas are, well, appreciating this glory, singing the glories of Ishvara. This is how they gain grace. Constantly you need a grace. That's how Bhaktya. Bhaktya means there is an atmosphere of a devotion. So this is how they appreciate his glories. Then Yatanta, just singing glories or not doing anything else? No. They are putting a lot of efforts. They are doing Shravanam, Mananam, etc. Right? And that is also not enough, because that should be effective. Shravanam also should be effective. So you need a right kind of mind. You should have a certain mastery over the mind. You should have a compassion in your heart. One is not naturally compassionate. One has to acquire compassion. The Puja Swamiji used to say, you get a compassion by being compassionate. So you fake it till you make it. So it's a lot of effort. Well, one definitely acquires the value of a non-violence by being a non-violent, leading an alert life. So a lot of effort are there. So in Dridhavrataha, these are all characteristic of those bhaktas. Dridhavrataha means their commitment is very firm. Commitment to gain moksha, commitment to seek Ishvara is very, very firm. Mam bhaktya namasyantaha. So the whole pursuit is done in an atmosphere of bhaktya, in an atmosphere of a devotion. So definitely, and they are seeking grace of Ishvara. Means in atmosphere of devotion, there is no question of claiming any achievement. All this, they will get a mastery over the mind, they become compassionate, they have all these things, they are constantly singing the glories. But well, they don't take credit ultimately for any achievement. They all the time say it is grace of Ishvara. So that is how Bhaktya is very important. Namasyantaha, those who surrender, who have a prayerful heart, well, in their pursuit, those people definitely gain, well, this Ishvara. So, then further it says in 15th verse, Jnana yagnena chapyanne yajanto mam upasate ekatvena pruthatvena bahuda vishwato mukham anye jnana yagnena yajantaha mam upasate. Anya means the same people, but he is saying Anya because he wants to differentiate from the people who have been talked about in the verse number 12. Moghasha moga karmana moga jnana vichetasaha rakshasim masurim chaiva. So there are people who have a disposition, rakshasi disposition, asuri disposition. So compared to them, Well, these people are Daivim Prakriti Mashrita, we just saw. So that's how Anye, to differentiate from them. So Mogasha Moga Karmana. Mogam means vain. Moga Asha, they have, well, basically the vain hope. Everyone, the person who is ignorant, he leads his life, she leads a life with a hope. Hope to be better, to be better, to be better, to be better, to be better. In one Janma, you cannot be the best. So you have, Bhagavan says, okay, he is a very compassionate, he gives another life. Again starts, to be better, to be better. A life of becoming. A life of becoming definitely involves that the present status of the person he is not happy with. That's true. So to be better. And that goes on and on. Goes on and on. Moga Asha. Moga Karmana. Well, they have, for fulfilling those hopes, they are doing all actions which are fruitless. Real Purushartha is moksha, which one gains by sitting in the chair and having 1 cup of coffee and 2 toast. That's nothing else is required. Literally. Because what you want to achieve in any Purushartha, it's already achieved. Therefore, Moga Karmana, all fruitless action for gaining Dharma, Artha, Kama, all this. Vichetasaha. Well, that's true because of lack of discrimination. Moga Jnana. And for doing karmas, they have a Jnanam, which is also useless. I mean, Mogam word basically reveals Vyartham. Well, it is whatever the knowledge one has regarding pursuits, the ends, and regarding acquiring those ends, you have a knowledge of means, naturally. All is in vain, actually. Rakshasi Masurim. Rakshasi means who have a Rajoguna predominant. Means they basically have a lot of ambitions, which fuel, of course, a great deal of activity. And Asurim, Asura. One who does things as they like, they don't have any rule in their life, etc. Compared to them, these people are very, very different. Anye, well, Jnani Yagnena Yajantaha Mam Upasate. So for these people, who Jignasu Bhaktas, they have knowledge alone is the ritual for these people. Object of knowledge is Bhagavan. So just because they don't perform a regular ritual, it doesn't mean that they are not Bhaktas. So these Bhaktas worship by Ishvara by invoking him in the form of pursuit of knowledge. His yajna is nothing but Jnani Yagnena. His yajna is nothing but Jnanam. And how do they worship him? Mam Vishwato Mukham Upasate. They worship me in many forms, many faces. Vishwato Mukham. So, well, I am the cause. They know that they know Ishvara as how? Well, I am the cause of everything. So, I am the maker and material everything, and therefore I am in the form of Panchabhutas, I am in the form of elements, and I am in the form of elementals. And so, all that you see here is Ishvara, sun, moon, etc., everything. So, Ekatvena Vishwato Upasate, Pruthatvena Vishwato Upasate. Ekatvena. I am the one who is in the form of everything, Vishwato And Pruthatvena Vishwato I am distinct from everything. I am in the form of everything, and that is how they worship in this manner. And I am distinct from everything, that's how also they worship. So that is how this has been said. That has been already told by Bhagavan, Matsthani, Sarva Bhutani, etc. So, and you can also look upon yourself like this. You are in the form of all the thoughts, you are in the form of emotions, you are in the form of memory, you are in the form of everything. And you are distinct from every form, every thought. Same thing we can also do. Anyway, so they worship Ishvara as Vishwatomukham, Ekatvena, etc., who is present in various forms, Vishwatoi. So Ishvara is worshipped as everything, every form. But it is a too general statement. And we all make this kind of a statement. Really speaking, those statements, even though we know the word of that statement, really speaking, we don't have any insight into that. Like we all say, oh, he is in the form of everything. But really speaking, in our heart, we are not able to appreciate Ishvara. Yeah. So it's a shallow statement actually, general statement. Then what should we do? Should we count everything? Billions of things, everything we have to name it? Well, I have start from the alphabet or take a dictionary. I am in the form of apple. I am in the form of a baker. I am in the form of a bat. No. You cannot do. Well, then what? Then I have to make a statement. I am in the form of everything. That's it. No. At least some, take some examples and say that's what he's going to do. So this chapter now, whatever the things are there, he will say, I am in this form, so and so, etc. Also 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, where he will mention few of them. That way we will be able to appreciate Vishwatomukham, etc. We will be able to appreciate he is in the form of everything, etc. And first he says he is in the form of a karma. Vedic karma, smarta karma, Shrauta smarta karma, etc. That he says in the verse number 16. That we saw it last time. Aham kraturaham yajnyaha svadahamaham aushadham mantro ahameva ajyam aham agnihi aham hutam. So I am the very ritual means because word kratu and yajna, well, if they are separate, it means one thing only. Yajna means ritual, kratu also means ritual. But when Bhagavan says here in a one sentence, we will have to find some difference. Otherwise it becomes repetition. Aham kratuhu, aham yajna. I am ritual, I am ritual. So some difference. And so aham kratuhu means I am a ritual which is been prescribed, enjoined by the Shruti, by the Veda. So Shrauta karma is called kratu. And yajnaha in general, smarta karma also you can say. So I am the worship, smarta karmas. And then svada aham, I am the food. That is because related to karmas, various karmas. And so I am the food. All the factors connected to karma also is me, Bhagavan wants to say. I am the food that is offered to the ancestors, mains. Svada, that's called svada. Aham aushadam, well, I am food in general, aushadam. Then mantro aham, right? I am the very chants. Aham eva ajyam, I alone in the form of ghee, etc. All the factors connected to karma. And agnihi aham, I am the very fire in the ritual. And aham hutam, I am in the form of oblations offered in that fire. Like that, Bhagavan said. Just took one karma. It also implies it. So upalakshana for all other karmas. All karakas are Ishvara, ultimately. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno. That is how it has been told earlier also. Then verse number 17. Pitahamasya jagataha mata dhata pitamaha Vedyam pavitram omkaraha Ruksamaya jurevacha Aham asya jagataha pita. I am, well, a father of the world. Mata cha, well, I am in the form of, I am a mother also. Dhata pitamaha, well, I am the cause of everything. I am in the form of a in the form of a grandfather. Means Bhagavan wants to say, ultimately, I am the cause of everything. I don't have any cause. I am cause of everything. I am uncaused cause. Right? If he has a cause, then he will have a pita, etc. No. Bhagavan says, pitamaha. Pitamaha means, well, ultimately grandfather means he wants to say he is the cause of everything. Vedyam, well, what is to be known in this world is Ishvara alone. Anything which is known in this creation from the standpoint of a name and form. You analyze any name and form, you come to know a given thing from a standpoint. That's it. Take a flower, you say, what is flower? You start analyzing in order to gain the knowledge of the flower. Well, you will say, well, this is nothing but petals. You have to stop there. Ultimately, to give a name called flower is for a form, a name and form. Then, but petal is not a reality. It's a just standpoint. You define flower from the standpoint, that is petal. But petal is not a reality. Petal itself, of course, well, is another form. Petal is another form. And so you try to define basically petal. You will say, well, ultimately a bunch of cells. All is standpoint. And every point, at every step, you have to stop and say, well, give a name for that form. You have to stop it. But you have yet not reached it is subject to a further inquiry, etc. So we have always a point of view for all objects, so-called names and forms. We simply draw a line at some point and assign some name and etc. So you have only names and forms anyway, but never a final word about anything. So what is a final word for an entire world? Well, asti bhati priyam, satchit. Satchit is the reality of everything, which is self-existent. Sat. And what is that self-existent being is consciousness. That is self-existent. And therefore, Satchit is the reality of every object. And therefore, that is not a standpoint, because that Satchit is a whole. Start with the space. Space asti, space bhati. Space is, space consciousness is. Without is consciousness, where is space? Name and form, where is it? And therefore, that is the reality. And it is whole. Therefore, there is no point of view. If a Satchit has a parts, then well, also defining anything as a Satchit definitely becomes a point of view. But this is not. So really speaking, it has no standpoint, no parts. It is Satyam, self-existent, but without further revision. It can be known. Knowing well, knowing which, well, everything is as well known. Knowing which everything is as well known. Yeah. Mundaka Upanishad also says, I think. And I think Chandogya also says that. When Sanat Kumara asked to Narada. Narada asked to Sanat Kumara, I'm sorry. So anyway, so this is how knowledge of the Atma, knowledge of Ishvara is something which is to be known. The whole world will be known. Other than that, everything, whatever you study in any branch of knowledge, it is just a point of view, nothing more than that. And that further inquiry has to be done. You may not be able to do because your PhD is over, or you have the whole life as a research scientist or something. Suppose I am talking about myself. Well, still, you give that whole heritage to someone else. Please continue further. So, well, that is just a standpoint. Good. So, Vedyam means what is to be known in this is Ishvara alone, in this creation, which is the reality of all names and forms. Pavitram, which is knowledge of Atma is Pavitram. That shows Atma is Pavitram. If knowledge of Atma, well, which make you free from all impurities, then definitely Atma must be free from all impurities. And therefore, what are the impurities? All raga, dvesha, guilt, hurt, punya, papa, all this. Name punya papam, name. That's how it is, right? Name punyam, name papam, etc. In that our Nirvana Shatakam. Anyway. So, Pavitram, Omkara. I am in the form of Omkara. That's a big thing in Mandukya Karika, said so beautifully. Well, all the three steps, I am in the form of Omkara. And that is, there is a connection between the matra and the pada, etc. And really speaking, the Omkara is, Brahman is an equation. That's the equation. Here there is no connection. Omkara is Brahman. Yeah. Anyway, that's not a subject matter here, but I am Omkara. Wonderful. And then, Ruksama Yajurevacha. I'm in the form of these Vedas. 3 Vedas generally they take. We have to include Atharva Veda also. And all the Smritis also we have to take. I'm in the form of Smritis, Puranas, etc. The whole, I'm in the body of knowledge. that is in the form of this Veda is myself. So Bhagavan talks, giving, I am everything, Vishwato Mukham. So he is describing like this. Now we have to see further, verse 18. Gatir bharta prabhu sakshi nivasa sharanam suhrita prabhavav pralayasthanam nidhanam bijam avyayam. So gatihi, well, gatihi means a karma phala, the result of all actions. Any end that is accomplished by a human being is called gati. So all generally in terms of karmas, well, lokas, various lokas are gati, karma phala. And they are all, those lokas are non-separate from me in my Vishwarupa. Well, in my cosmic form, they are all, they are all areas of me, we can say. There is nothing separate from Parameshwara. Bharta, brudha tu dharana poshana yoho. So I am the one who nourishes the world. Bharta also is a word for husband, because in those days he was the provider in earlier days. So Bharta can be also husband, but here it is sustainer, nourishes. So he supports the world by lending very existence to that. So Bhagavan says, I am a Bharta. Then Prabhu, Lord, one who is a master, one who has all the glories, one who is a source. Source of what? Source of all resources. All resources. So if I say I'm resourceful, well, means I'm having a lot of money, suppose. Money is also resource. Well, all money which you say belongs to you does not belong to you. It all belongs to Ishvara. So Prabhu means he is a source of all resources. Sakshi, well, Bhagavan says, even though I am a Bharta, sustainer of creation, and Samhara Karta also, well, one in which a whole creation resolves. Srishti Karta also, one who creates everything, but really speaking, I am only a Sakshi. I perform no karma at all. That's why I am identical with you. You say I am Sakshi. Well, you are because you are not a creator in which the creation doesn't resolve. You say I am Sakshi. Well, as a Sakshi, I and you are identical. So this is how it is. So we arrive at a Sakshi through avastha, etc., our states of experience, etc. Well, that Sakshi is Brahman. So we can complain to, of course, Bhagavan that, well, why did you create me like this, etc.? Why did not you place me somewhere? Well, somewhere else. Bhagavan can say, Aham Sakshi. So I am only a witness. I am not responsible. It's all your karma. Really speaking, am I created? That question should be asked. That's a question to be asked. Am I created? If you are really created, all questions should be answered. Otherwise, well, if this question itself is wrong, answer need not be given. Yeah, that's a question. So Bhagavan will answer, of course, that it is according to your karma. But if you ask, did I really come into being? Am I really created? The answer is no. Because the jiva is anadi, its reality is timeless. This creates a big issue. We feel that we have by answering this, we have saved ourselves. No way. Jiva is anadi, beginningless, and the samsara is due to jivatvam, the sense of individuality. Then what is beginningless is endless also. And therefore, if I am a jiva from beginningless, that jivatvam will continue. There will not be end to jivatvam, there will not be end to samsara also. Then where is moksha? Where is moksha? That's the issue. That question is asked, in fact, in Shastra, in one of the Prakran Granthas. I don't remember now. But in Shankaracharya's Grantha itself it is there. Because jivatvam, if it is beginning, we know two things, two categories we know. What has a beginning, end. What does not have a beginning also does not end. Therefore, this question is really to be answered properly. And I am trying to answer, okay? I have picked up from their point only. See, for that, let us take first an example. So, Jiva and Brahman. You know, the Brahman is taken as the Jiva. It's an error, of course. And due to ignorance, that is there. So for that, I take an example of a rope snake, and I will try to explain what is this anadi, etc. See, the perception of a snake on a rope is a delusion, right? So then, so when did this snake arrive, etc.? When somebody asks this question, really speaking, there is no answer. When the snake was created, when did the snake appear on the rope, etc.? Well, really speaking, there is no answer. Well, why there is no answer to this question? Because snake has not really arrived. Very first thing. Only if snake has arrived, you can talk about this all regarding when did it arrive, etc. That's etc. So there is no question of an arrival of snake because there is no snake at all. So this is the answer. And therefore, when a person falsely perceives a snake, really speaking, there is no snake. But for the consolation of the student, temporarily you and me will accept a snake. Because in my heart there is no snake. But he says there is snake. So I accept temporarily, seemingly. Accept it. And if I temporarily accept that snake, the student will not leave, otherwise he will leave. If he says there is snake and I say where is snake? There is no snake at all. Well, he would leave. And therefore, so I temporarily accept that there is a snake. Now, once I say that there is a snake, then he will ask further questions. And what is that question? He is asking the horoscope of that snake. So basically, what is its birth star and so what is its age, etc. What is its gotram? Everything he will ask. So temporarily I have to answer. What is the answer? Well, that snake is beginningless. Snake is anadi. If you say snake is there, yes, then snake is created on rope from beginningless time. Not created as such, but snake is there from beginningless time. Really speaking, anadi does not mean a thing exists from beginningless time. Anadi means that one whose beginning cannot be talked about because it is really not there. Right? Anadi means its beginning cannot be talked about because it is really not there. We generally translate anadi as which is there from beginningless time. Exist beginninglessly. So exist, we accept the existence of a snake, not really because from my standpoint there is no snake at all. Still I say exist beginninglessly. Well, that is for that other person. For that person, well, definitely I say that. So on the knowledge of the rope, this is what anadi is. And well, of course, still, even though it is anadi, beginningless, etc., seemingly for me, of course, not seemingly for the person. And on the knowledge of rope, the snake will go away, they say. Snake dies. Snake doesn't die also. On the knowledge of rope, snake doesn't die. Why does snake doesn't die or go away? Well, it is not there to die or it is not there to go away also. Could you follow? It's not there to go away also. And so, the end of the snake is really end of the snake is really not the end of the snake. The end of the snake is the understanding that there is no snake to end. Could you follow? You may feel little, because this is, otherwise it's a big thing. We have never thought, anything which is beginningless, why should it die? We know only two categories, which has a beginning that can end. Which is beginningless will not end, it will be endless. then in that case Jiva is beginningless, but Jiva will not end. Means samsara will not end. Then why to study all this? So so Acharya has raised somewhere this question and answered. So anyway, so the end of the snake is the understanding that there is no snake to end. And what is anadi? Anadi means, well, definitely, it's a technical word. So means, anadi does not mean that which exists beginninglessly. Anadi means the one whose beginning cannot be talked about because it doesn't exist at all. That's the thing. So after knowing rope, of course, I do not say the snake has gone. I do not say, then what do I say? Well, there was no snake at all for going or for dying. So seemingly anadi snake has got an end again seemingly. That's the thing. And on the wake of knowledge, well, this seemingly anadi snake has got seemingly end. And therefore every error is beginningless, but it has an end. Because it's an error. Really existing thing from beginningless time cannot end. It will remain, it will exist even in the future, endlessly. If it is an error, then the moment you know, well, it will be an end. So every error is beginningless, but it has an end. So errors are always beginningless because they are born out of beginningless ignorance. So error have end because in wake of knowledge, I will know that they are non-existent. Anyway, the nearest example they give is an example of a darkness. Anyway, whether I have discussed this is proper or not, but I thought, anadi, am I created? That's a question. Well, I am there since beginningless time. Means I am there since beginningless time means what? I am Brahman, which is beginningless time. Then the question, am I created would not be there. But you say, am I created in that question? Well, you get an answer that you are there since beginningless time as an individual, as a jiva. Then that is to be really examined. So, they give an example how this ignorance is beginningless. Well, because it's an example of darkness they give. So, if there is a cave in some South America, etc., well, where people have not reached at all, so there are certain areas where human being has not yet reached. There are some caves, etc. And there is darkness in that cave. So when did that darkness begin, if somebody asks? Well, that is a beginningless time, basically. An example. So you cannot talk about the beginning of the darkness. But when you light a lamp, the beginningless darkness ends. And so, here also it is same. So jivatvam, well, is basically superimposed. It's an error due to upadhi of ajnanam. And therefore, and ajnanam being definitely beginningless, well, we say jiva also is beginningless. But it ends because it's an error. The moment you know that beginningless error, which has a basis in beginningless ignorance, will end. That's how it is. So every error has got a unique status. Every delusion has got this unique status. What is that uniqueness? It is beginningless, but it is subject to end. It's a unique status. This status, that is how we have coined a word for this thing, and that is mithya. That is mithya, right? The snake is mithya. So normally we know only two things, that which has got a beginning has end, and which doesn't have a beginning will not end, like Atma, definitely. So, but this is a unique intermediary concept, which is a basic concept in Vedanta, and that's the concept of mithya. It's like this, which is beginningless, yet it ends. Snake is beginningless, yet it ends, as the knowledge of rope arises in you. Anyway, so this is regarding this beginning thing. Anyway. So, and suppose if some person says, no, it is all philosophy. I don't like all this. So accepting that you are created. Okay. Then, Bhagavan says, then you don't blame me. Why am I created like this, or why am I placed with such and such parents, etc., or this parentage, etc. Because the blueprint is given by you. The blueprint is given by you. So there is nothing, of course, I can do about it. You can pray to me, basically, to modify it. But right now, this is how it is, because the blueprint is given by. Like an architect gives us a design, right, of the house. Somebody wants to create a house, and suppose he is an architect. He himself gives a design to the contractor. And the house is, once it is created, then architect may say, oh, this is not good, this is a very congested place, and the kitchen is very small, and this and that. Well, the contractor says, you have given blueprint, what can I do in this? So it is like this. So we definitely have a complaint. For the body, for our mind, for our setup, etc., we have a complaint. A lot of complaints are there. And we generally blame Ishvara. He has given like this, etc., etc. My prarabdha is like that, Ishvara is... Anyway. So, it is other example is like the tailor. Suppose you give a certain measurement to the tailor, and meanwhile you go to India and suppose you give measurement. And meanwhile you keep on eating all bhikshas, and you become mota. And now those clothes, after 1.5 months, etc., they take 2 months for stitching, etc. And now it is not fitting. And you blame tailor. Tailor says, what can I do? You gave those measurements to me. What can I do? It's like that. So this is one answer. This is one answer for the question, am I created? And why am I created like that, etc. The second is, am I created? If you further analyze, the question resolves into yourself, etc. Like in case of a rope snake, same thing. So I am the very cause of everything, not I am created. I am not effect. I am the very cause of everything. I am the Atma, etc. And which alone is the Sakshi. So Bhagavan says, I am Sakshi. You can also say the same thing if you really ask this question and analyze it properly. I am the cause of everything, and yet I remain as ever witness. And there is another meaning for the word Sakshi, means he is a Ishvara and I am a Jiva, etc. So Sakshi means one who maintains the account of all your actions of omissions and commissions. So Bhagavan says, you cannot get away from, my vision. Definitely, I am the one who is in the form of law of karma, who records all that you do, etc. So this is in Sarvajna, Sakshi. Sakshi means Sarvajna. In that case also you can take that way also. Then Bhagavan says, Nivasaha. Nivasa means a house, a place where you reside. So Shankaracharya says, it is a place in which all beings reside. When Bhagavan says, Aham Nivasaha, I am Nivasa, means all the beings reside in me. You live in a house, that house is on the earth is in the solar system. The solar system is, day before yesterday only I saw, what a thing it is. It's mind-boggling. This Milky Way has billions of stars, they say, billions. And that is one galaxy. Like that there are billions of galaxies. The nearest they gave name some Armida or something, I forgot that name. Nearest, but that has billions of stars. And still they say this universe is expanding. It is mind-boggling. So all entire universe resides in Ishvara. Bhagavan says, Sarvasya Adhishthanam. I am the very basis of everything. Amazing. Everything resides in consciousness. Whatever you say, whole universe is, okay, consciousness is, resides in consciousness. That's how it is. Limitless consciousness, which is self-existent, which lends existence to everything. That's how everything is. Universe is. Okay, so Nivasaha. Then Sharanam, refuge. What is refuge? Well, refuge is a place where you can relax and from where you will not be pushed out. So, well, going to heaven, etc., is also a refuge, of course. You can relax. You will have a lot of music, this, that, etc. will be seeing, and you will not have to put an effort even to eat. Just drashti matrena. By seeing itself, you will be able to enjoy heavenly samosas, okay? And therefore, really, that's how the description is. Sense organs have a predominance in Swarga. Physical body has a predominance in this world. Yeah. To transact in this world, definitely you need a physical body. So you have to use physical body. You have to go to dining hall and you have to lift that morsel and put in the mouth. And you have to chew it. There, devatas simply see, and they will be able to, they get a satisfaction of eating. So Sharanam basically means if you go anywhere else, it's a temporary refuge, heaven, etc. also. You have to move away from it eventually. So Bhagavan is a real refuge, in as much as, well, he is a refuge in which everyone can relax. Atmaratihi, Atma Kridaha. Knowing the Atma as a Paramatma, person becomes silent by nature. You get a silence forever. Even if you want to disturb the silence, you cannot, because it's your nature. Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma Sa Vigneya. So Shanti which you are seeking, the relaxation you are seeking, freedom from anxiety, all this fear, etc. you are seeking, well, that's what yourself is. So it's a real refuge, and from where you will not be pushed into samsara. Once you get this refuge, once you know the self as Brahman, so Bhagavan is a real refuge. Sharanam. Shankaracharya ji takes it as a real Sharanam, over one that completely relieves you from sorrow. Artanam, Prapannanam, Artiharaha, etc. Bhagavan, Shankaracharya ji says. Okay, Suhrit. So Bhagavan says Sharanam, then Suhrit. I am the Suhrit. Suhrit means what? Well, is Pratyupakara Anapekshaha. One who helps someone without expecting anything, without even being your friend. Out of friendship, one might help other person. But because you are friend, and a friend is suffering, you get suffer, you will feel suffered. Because of empathy, etc., definitely. And therefore you, well, definitely in order to get rid of the suffering which you are having, you want to remove his suffering first. Therefore a friend helps. It is expected that he will help. But a Suhrit is one which has no introduction to you at all. You must have seen even in travel sometime person helps you who meets you for the first time and the last time. He just helps the person and go away. Right? That's how it is happening. So, Bhagavan is also, well, the person may be totally, absolutely new to you. Well, who is just, you are seeing for the first time. But that's enough. Person comes, help and go away. Bhagavan also is like this. He is also Suhrit. So you can ask him anything. You need not have to go to him with a recommendation later, etc. You can ask anything to him. He will give it to you without any introduction. Directly you can ask. So Suhrit, Bhagavan is Suhrit. Or any Suhrit is Ishvara. That way also. That is also. Whenever you find some people say, oh, sometime, Bhagavan has come and helped me. People say like that. So that way also it is true. Bhagavan is Suhrit, or any Suhrit is Ishvara. Can take. That's better. Prabhavaha pralayaha sthanam. I am the Prabhava, the one from whom the whole creation has emerged. Come. I am the pralaya, well, unto whom everything resolves. And sthanam, everything has a sustenance, being in that. Then nidhanam. Nidhanam is basically a basis. Generally a question is asked that as if you say Ishvara is a cause, Prabhava, Pralaya, Sthanam, etc., well, Means he is the cause of everything. Then as a cause of creation, definitely the Brahman undergoes modification. Does the Brahman undergo any modification? Well, this is answered by this word, nidhanam, the basis in which all causes and effects are placed. That is Brahman. Without undergoing any change, with reference to Jagat, of course he is called creator, etc. But he doesn't undergo any change. It is nidhanam, in which everything is placed. So all entire creation, which is in the form of orders, that is cause-effect. Action, reaction, means, end, cause, effect. All this creation basically has a basis in this Brahman. All orders are all superimposed upon this Brahman. So therefore, nidhanam, basis of everything. Generally, it is taken as a cause-effect. Various causes are there and the effects are there. Well, he is the basis of everything. And then avyaya bijam, avyaya bijam. So all names and forms, well, that constitute this effect, basically, are subject to change, subject to disappearance. When the cause, well, bijam, the cause which is avyayam, is not subject to disappearance. It means, well, as long as Jagat is there, this avyaya bijam will be there, naturally. Undifferentiated cause. Bhagavan says, I am undifferentiated cause from whom the whole this differentiated world has come. So I am its seed, bijam, avyayam, which does not disappear, which will be ever be there. Like that. So this is a description of Vishwato Mukham. Further description also is there of this Vishwato Mukham, which we will see after half an hour. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.